Found it. Good evening, all.
Hello, hello.
Glad to see you're here tonight. I do appreciate you taking the time to connect in. Tonight, we're going to examine the Global Action Team. And before we get into the GAT itself, I'd like to do a brief history of how this came about. And the Global Action Team came about in its present form because of about 6 years ago, and it may have been a little longer, the executive level of Lions International recognized that we have been losing membership consistently for some 40 years, consistently, an average of 3% every year. And they also recognized, and that was not anything new to them, they knew that, but it dawned on them that the methods, the tools, the procedures, the way we had been doing business of recruiting was failing us. And so they devised a plan, and the plan was do an examination of those districts where they are increasing and have been increasing for several years their membership, and compare that against those districts that have been consistently failing in their membership recruiting for the past several years. And they chose 9 districts in North America, US and Canada, one of them in Canada, 2 of them, I think it was 2 of them in Canada. And they deployed a team to go out and ask some tough questions and do some deep digging and find out what makes a successful recruiting effort for a district and what does not work. And they came back with several keen observations, and one of them was an observation that Lions International really took to heart. And the observation was that, and some of you have heard me talk about this before, the observation was that consistently in those districts that have been failing, one of the reasons that they have been failing is that the people they put in positions of responsibility, people in charge of recruiting, people in charge of doing various functions, oftentimes do nothing. And at the end of the term, they are rewarded with an award of some sort, a congratulations, and they're frequently asked to do it again. Or they're asked to do another committee, another task, another function of some sort. And they continue to fail in that one too. And we keep rewarding them. And it was the observation of this team that we need to instill the idea that when a person takes on a position of leadership, he also takes on a position of commitment, that there's an obligation in play as well as not just being a volunteer. It goes beyond being a volunteer. And that was one of the several things that they really took to heart. And it's Lions International is being subtle about this. I am not subtle about it. Lions International likes to incorporate this in a lot of its training, but doesn't like to emphasize it as something critically important, and I do. So this, by the way, was called NAMI, N-A-M-I. NAMI stood for the North American Membership Initiative. And at the end of it, they came together and they made several recommendations. And the recommendations included a revamp of training. It included a revamp of our website, which they immediately took to heart and started working on that, and it's finally coming to fruition. They took to heart the idea that we need to train our leaders better, more specifically, because they've been doing this for a long time. They realize the importance of the governor, and they did a revamp of the governor's training. And the governor's training, when I went through as district governor, the training was a lot of stuff about procedures and forms and getting expense claims in and doing the administrative side of district governor, as well as, you got to go out and got to visit your clubs and all this other happy stuff. So they revamped the training, and having been participating this year in the training for our incoming governors, I can tell you it is completely different now. They take the concept, the idea of instilling leadership, leadership traits, leadership skills with our district governors. They take that very, very seriously. And so now the training is a lot different than what I experienced, which I think is a good thing. So NAMI led to a number of changes, and including in that was something that had been in place, but in a half-hearted, sporadic, inconsistent way. They took the ideas of an old structure that had been around for a long time that included leadership, extension, membership, and service, and it went under various acronyms and so forth. LEMPER was the most common. The first time I heard that acronym LEMPER, I thought it was some sort of a disease or something. But they had this thing called LEMPER, and because it was not really enforced, if you will, it was not really pushed hard. It was not really a standard part of the structure for every district, for every multiple district. And, its success was So they said, let's take that idea, because it is a good idea, and appointing people in particular positions to emphasize membership and service and leadership and so forth, and set it up, give it a different name, and start training so that people in these positions will understand the importance and the critical need for them to actually pursue and accomplish some goals. So they started the training on that as well, and the Global Action Team, GAT, that structure has been around now for about 5 years, something like that. And I was just as a little bragging point on my part. They organized it so that they emphasized the district and the multiple district, and beyond the multiple district, they had what were called regional leaders or group leaders, later renamed as group leaders, and group leaders. And I was selected to be one of 9 group leaders in North America, and I was responsible for Alaska, Washington, Oregon, Idaho, Utah, and Montana, I think it was. And this was a new thing, so getting people informed, getting the right people in place, getting them trained up was part of my responsibility for these. And I learned a lot, and I made some great contacts throughout the Western U.S. I also made great contacts with other group leaders, including folks primarily on the West Coast, but also on the East Coast. And I maintain those contacts today, and have a great group of friends as a result. New faces have come into the structure at that level. New faces have come into the structure at the executive level as well. We've got new faces there at the top at the international level, and they're continuing. They're continuing to examine how this is working, whether or not it's working. They're continuing to modify and tweak it and try to improve the program. One of the ways that they've, in my opinion, improved the program is that they have added the GET, Global Extension Team. And the idea there, of course, is to create new clubs. The last time I talked about this, I forgot to talk about GET, because this thing has not yet incorporated, and this presentation has not yet incorporated the GET. So I do want to talk about it, but don't let me forget toward the end there. I need to bring that up. So keep in mind, as we walk through this, there are 3 primary elements illustrated, and nowadays there are 4. We've got the membership, we've got the service, we've got the leadership, and we have the extension. Previously, extension was part of the membership. Now it is a separate entity to itself. So Don't let me forget about that. And let's see what we can do with this. Let's see if we can walk through. See if I can get my mouse to operate. Hey, good. There we are. So we all want Lions and LCIF to be the global leader in community and humanitarian service. Of course, this is something that we've been striving for many, many years. And we want to be recognized by the public and by the community, and more specifically, to know about Lions, to know what we do. We want our Lions to be excited, to be motivated, to be proud of this great organization. And excitement is contagious, and the old success breeds success. Excitement breeds excitement. When Lions are excited, when Lions are passionate about service they provide, they attract family, they attract friends, colleagues, neighbors, and other community leaders. Excited leaders make people want to belong to a great organization such as Lions because we do so much for the community. Have you ever wanted to do more in your community, in your district, in your multiple districts, but were unable to do so because you didn't have enough Lions to support your idea? Has your club or your district ever struggled trying to get Lions to take on leadership roles? I think we can all understand that part right there. Has your club ever lost members due to club conflicts or lack of engagement or meaningful service? As leaders of Lions, we take on the responsibility to leave our district or club better at the end of the year than it was when we started, to make improvements, strategic changes, and to be responsible for ensuring that we're improving in all areas, including leadership, including membership, including service, club operations, marketing. We have a responsibility to improve all aspects of our club operation, club and district and multiple district operations. The GAT touches every club, every district, every zone, every region. We don't have regions in our multiple. To help you understand who is involved in the Global Action Team, we're going to go through each of the levels item by item. And at the club level, we've got everybody involved with the term action. The club president is the chair of the Global Action Team. And the club's first vice is the GLT. If your club does not already have a GLT, then the first vice presumes that position or assumes that position. The GLT organizes training for leaders and upcoming leaders, helps members find and participate in district and multiple district level trainings. And the GMT, of course, responsible for membership. Primary focus there is to not only bring in new members into the club, but to keep the existing members active, engaged, and happy. The GST service is the service chair and is responsible for organizing and creating engaging service activities for the club for the benefit of the community. That's at the club level. At the district level, very similar, a little bit different. The district governor is the chair of the Global Action Team, and he or she works with the team to develop the goals that they wish to achieve during the fiscal year, and the team then works closely in support of those goals. They work together. You've heard me say before, I'm going to reemphasize it here. A goal without a plan is just a wish. And part of the training for the district governor is how to develop a plan for a particular goal. It's all part of the training. And for some, it's nothing new. For other folks, they've never had to do something like that before. So it's an eye opener. GLT at the district level coordinates the training for the district's clubs and individual members. The GLT is responsible for reporting local training in the learn portion of the Lions Learning Center. Yes, there is a learn section in there to advertise, hopefully advertise to folks that may not be aware of some upcoming training. And it's another way of doing this. When I was GLT, I tried this. I had minimal success, but the tool is still there, and we can make use of it wherever possible. So, for your information, in case you didn't already know about that, Brian, the GMT primary focus, of course, is implementing growth of membership and retention strategies to achieve the district goals, because every district has goals with regards to membership, and that includes retention, not just bringing in new members. The GET coordinator directly focused on chartering new clubs. This was started in July of 2022, and it was originally an optional position. More and more district governors are expected to fill that position. Pretty soon it's going to be mandatory. GST coordinator is one that organizes district-wide service events and keeps the clubs informed about service programs and the resources that might be helpful. They also report district-level service activities in my line. So the GMT at the district level also reports in my line. Zone chairs help the coordinators communicate with the clubs, provide feedback for the districts from clubs and club members. So the zone chairs are involved in this as well. At the multiple district level, the council chair is the chair of the GAT, and the council chair works with the team. Yeah. There is actually a GAT structure at the multiple district level. And the team there is to support the districts in achieving their goals and set some multiple district goals that they would like to see achieved as well. GAT coordinators serve the same function as their counterparts at the district level, but work with each district within the multiple, similarly on how the district coordinators work with each club within their district. And then at the international level, and of course, this is pretty high level here. At the top, we've got the past international presidents, and the International Board of Directors has a direct say into how this program operates. After all, it was authorized by the Board of Directors initially. And of course, they're at what they call the GAT ambassadors. There are some past district governors whose job as an ambassador is to spread the message, spread the excitement about the GAT team to other lines, to other clubs. The GAT chair works closely with constitutional area leaders. Constitutional area. We are in Constitutional Area 1, United States. Constitutional Area 2, of course, is Canada. And the GAT chair works with constitutional area leaders and with Lions International to make sure the leaders have strategies and support that they need to implement. The constitutional area leaders work with other area leaders below their level to support the goals of Lions International, and of course to deliver feedback. Got to have that. They work with the multiple district and district coordinators on achieving their goals. So we've got multiple levels here, and for some folks they would look at that and say that's multiple levels of bureaucracy. I prefer to think of it as multiple levels of accountability. And I'm bringing back this thing of accountability because when I was first selected to be a GAT area leader, I found out after the fact by other folks that I was replacing someone who had been in the job for 6 months and had done nothing. And I thought, well, that's not a good sign. Interestingly enough, this person that I replaced was a past international director. And normally PIDs, when they're appointed in a position, they're in there if they want. They're in there for life if they want. I ended up replacing a PID, and I was a mere PDG. So they are practicing what they preach, accountability. And since then, I have seen other peoples in within the structure that have been replaced, that have been let go because they're not doing their job. So accountability works. Come on, where are you? Oh, I have to go over here. Here we are. So what does the GAT do? It is a one team approach to achieve the goals that they need. The GAT team puts the entire Lions network to work with districts and clubs. It brings the GLT, GMT, GST together to support districts and clubs in reaching their goals. And when we work as a team, not as individual silos, but as a team, we can have the greatest impact. Leadership development includes the opportunities that can empower Lions to lead and serve their communities and their districts. Lead their communities. Leadership skills applies across the board in a wide variety of areas, not just Lions. Great opportunities there. Strong leaders can help drive membership, champion new service projects, and ensure that districts and clubs position themselves for great success. Membership growth, of course, the GAT can help districts and clubs develop effective membership programs to start new clubs and attract new members. And they can help clubs create great membership experience that will keep the new as well as our seasoned members coming back for more. More members, of course, allow more clubs to bring more service to their communities. Service innovation, always looking for new ideas, new ways to help our neighbors. So that assists districts and clubs in identifying resources, best practices to improve the service projects and, by extension, their impact. Quality service projects increase member satisfaction and help to attract new members who are looking to serve, of course. Foundation support. The GAT supports and promotes Lions donations to LCIF and Campaign 100. By supporting our foundation, we are supporting Lions all over the world who are in need of various grants, financial, and logistic support. We share and utilize resources, the communications between the GAT positions at every level. I have seen improve over the years, and it's really, really good now. And especially at the region leadership area, when I was in that position, we didn't have the peer-to-peer communications and support like they do now. Good for them. So they're continuously looking for better ways to improve this system. And of course, input and feedback plays directly into that. Members of the GAT have the opportunity to share their input on the resources that are in development, and frequently they participate in the development of some of these new ideas. Clubs should be submitting their monthly membership reports, of course, and service reports that have been on service that's been conducted. MD and districts submit reports on trainings that were conducted. So MD and district provide support on training, provide reports on training that they've conducted as well. How does GAT get it all done? By involving the entire team in goal setting, in planning, in attaining, in walking through the processes. GAT is able to have a consistent approach in all aspects of Lionism to strengthen our clubs and districts. I especially like that last bullet there, monitoring the progress through the year. And the best way to monitor that, of course, is communications. And I see that at the executive level, where they're keeping in touch with the regional GAT leaders, and the regional GAT leaders are keeping in touch with the multiple and district and GAT leaders. It's really impressive, and they're getting stuff done. Communications. There are a number of ways that are communicated, including, of course, the monthly digest, and there's also a quarterly publication that Lions International puts out. There is a GAT Facebook group for the GAT leaders at different levels. And for the regional specialists, the sort of the troubleshooters and so forth, they've got some special in-house, if you will, communications tools that they like to use. But the GAT staff at Lions International likes to communicate with Lions at every level in a variety of ways. Yep, Facebook, messages, web pages, all of these are available, and they like to work with the members within their constitutional area to provide the support that they need. If you haven't already, you can join the GAT Facebook group to connect with your fellow Lions around the world. I would also like to suggest, if you're part of Facebook, track down the Global Lions Forum. The Global Lions Forum is a lively discussion group where all sorts of ideas of lions are collected and dissected and examined and critiqued and championed. It's a very active group. You should be aware, and I think all of you are aware, but I'm going to emphasize it anyhow. The Global Lions Forum is a place for exchanging ideas and asking questions. It is not a place to offer congratulations to District Governor so-and-so because they achieved something, or happy birthday to so-and-so because he's a great lion there. Any of that sort of stuff, yeah. As one of the several moderators in that forum, I can tell you right now, we don't allow that stuff. And all the postings have to go through us. So we routinely, every day, we turn down anywhere from 20 to 50 of them. Because it's not really relevant to the community at large. So we like to keep the discussions lively, absolutely, and we do bring up some tough questions in there. So I'd like to recommend the Global Lions Forum as well as the GAT group on Facebook. Roles and responsibilities, these have been refined and expanded and modified over the years, and all of this information is available for anyone to see. It's on the Lions International webpage. They have recently reorganized their web pages. In my opinion, it is now set up in a logical fashion so that you start off with, for instance, a global action team. You go to the global action team webpage at Lions International, and you will find that there is a list of different resources and documents and so forth grouped together by functionality. It's really a logical, good layout. So now you don't have to go all over the place in several different locations to find what you need. Got everything listed there. Each, of course, is a separate link, but it's all in one page. They've also developed a field guide for the club, for the district, and the multiple district. They've developed a field guide. Yeah. And the ultimate resource, the ultimate answer to questions is frequently found in the Lions International Board Policy Manual. And if it's not in the Board Policy Manual, it's probably in the International Board of Constitution and Bylaws. I do like to recommend at least bookmarking the Board Policy Manual webpage. The policy, the document is the manual, if you will, is set up in, I think it's 15 different chapters. Each chapter is a separate PDF that you can download. It's many times it will answer your questions. Board Policy Manual. Oh, and the GAT authorization and operation is found in section 24. I know what that XXIV means. GAT web pages. We've got a variety of GAT web pages contained, of course, within Lions International webpage. Again, I don't hesitate to recommend that you take a look at those. Again, great information in there. And there's one part that a lot of people don't know. And I suspect it's because they're not comfortable in there yet. Okay, and what am I talking about? I'm talking about insights. Within insights, understand that you find this particular tool, and that's really what it is. You'll find it inside the members portal. Yeah, you have to log into the members portal, And the list of items across the top, the last item on the far right, is the insights. Click on the insights. This is the database. It is a one-way database. You can look, but you can't change. You can see all of the stats that you want, but you're not able to change the stats. And you can see all the stats that you want to see. Literally everything from the international level down to the individual club, anywhere in the world. It's just a matter of figuring out how to navigate through to find the information that you want, turn it into a chart like we have illustrated here. It's a very, very interesting tool, free of charge, public knowledge. All you have to do is log into the members portal and you can get to this information. Sometimes people wonder where I find my stats that I use in my various training and my various speeches. I find them on Insights. Great stuff in there. The My LCI portion of the members portal is where we report our membership. Those stats, not names, go into the Insights. The My Line is where we report our service activities. Those stats and the general categories of service are reflected in Insights. So I like to encourage poking around in the Insights. Very, very interesting. Oh, also in the Insights, you will find your district governor's goals that your district governor has submitted to Alliance International. That's where you can find their goals. And of course, you see all the district governor's goals that you want. And you can find that you can see what was envisioned and sort of do a comparison. Where are we at right now? So you can use the Insights, utilize these metrics. They're a critical part of understanding where we're at right now. In the Lions shop, there's a special GAT section. They've got some special GAT merch. I learned that word. Yeah, merch. They've got some special GAT merch that you can buy. So just and by the way, these little these pins that they have, I've got I don't know, I've probably got about 50 of them. I'm going to bring them to the convention, and I'm gonna pass them out like crazy. So there's no point in me keeping them. I mean, they were intended to be passed out. So we've got the merch available in the Lion Shop as well. And again, the Lion Shop is found inside the members portal. One of the primary methods, one of the primary tools, one of the primary procedures that that they have developed is this thing called the global membership approach. And while it is initially intended for membership, you can actually utilize this for service and leadership and extension. Yeah, it's a four-step approach. It's a very logical sequence. And if you follow this, whatever your particular project is, whatever your particular goal is, you're going to find yourself at the high end of success. Build a team, build a vision, build a plan, build success. We have a course on the global membership approach. A couple times a year, I put it on the calendar. You can also take the course for the global membership approach in the Lions Learning Center, again, found in the members portal. You can take a course on this. It's not a difficult course. It takes maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And great ideas in here. Again, it's a four-step process. If you walk through these four steps, you're almost guaranteed you're going to have success in there. So build a team, of course, build a team. And again, with the team, we're talking about people that are ready to obligate, build a vision, determine what your goals are going to be, and then build a plan. And sometimes when you're building that plan, you're going to change, you're going to modify to build a vision. You're going to modify your goals. And then you implement. And once you've implemented, if you follow the standard, the SMART standard for developing your plan, then you've got a chance to celebrate success. And when you are celebrating success, you also do an examination of your project, figure out what went well and what did not, make the changes appropriate, and do it again. 4-step process, the global membership approach, can be applied in a variety of ways. The foundation, our LCIF grant funding, magnifies, I like that word, magnifies Lions service. As the only foundation to empower service of Lions worldwide, LCIF grant funding magnifies Lions service to people that need it around the world. And as GAT leaders, they're one of LCIF's strongest resources and champions, not only because of personal donations, but as ambassadors to the foundation. I'd like to encourage other Lions to support LCIF. And then, of course, the calls to serve a world in need continues to grow. LCIF answers that call. LCIF empowers Lions to answer the call. I was going to mention one more thing about LCIF, and now I forget what it was. Okay. So you can contact GAT. You can contact the GAT positions in your club, in your district, in your multiple district. This is not information that is hidden or secret or anything like that. Not at all. All of these things are available in the MD19 website. You can track down these folks. One or two of them happen to be on the call tonight. Brian is the global leadership team leader for District 19N. And in my opinion, he is doing a great job. I am very happy to be working with him. But if you have questions, don't hesitate to contact Brian. Don't hesitate to contact the GLT for the multiple district, who happens to be Frank Vega. Frank is over in Idaho, by the way. Don't hesitate to contact any of these different positions when you got questions. You can ask me, and of course, I'll just turn around and ask Brian. But don't hesitate to contact. That's why we're here. And I want to thank you for your time and attention tonight. Let's turn it over to Q&A. Questions, thoughts, ideas. Trudy.
You want to remind us to remind you about the GET?
Yes. Thank you. Yes, thank you for. No, I'm so forgetful. The GET. One of the things that they discovered with the NAMI effort is that one of the questions that they wanted answered is, what is the best method to increase membership in a district? And there were two primary things to consider. One was expanding the number of members in your club. Three things: expanding the number of membership in your club, reviving clubs that are failing, that are declining slowly over a period of years, reviving them, and starting new clubs. They found the two items of greater success were expanding membership of current club members, club membership. And the other was expanding the number of clubs. They found that strictly numbers, if you look at just the numbers, the amount of hours, the amount of effort, and the amount of money that a district might spend on trying to revive a club that is failing versus the same amount of hours, of effort, and money spent on starting a new club is a greater opportunity than trying to revive the old one. Why? If you're able to revive the old one, you might get 3, 4, 5, 6 members. If you start a new club, you start with at least 20 new members. And many times they have found out, it's sad, but it's true, many times the effort that you expend on trying to revive a club that is failing will result in a failure of a club. Many times a club is just, they have given up. The membership is happy with where they're at, and as they slowly pass on, so does the club. Sad but true, for your consideration. So therefore, As a result, they took that thought and said, all right, GET, if we're talking about expanding membership, the expansion, the extension of our membership via new clubs is a better method, and we want to really promote that. And so they created the GET position, and that's why you're going to see, and I believe it's next year, that all district governors are going to be expected to include GET in their appointments as well. It's no longer going to be optional. So GET, in my opinion, is very, very important, and we've seen success. We've seen limited success, not complete success, but we've seen success in District N, and we're continuing to do that. We want to do it again and again and again. Thank you for that reminder. Other thoughts, questions? Tonight's beer, by the way, is a Pilsner from the Rogue Brewery in Newport, Oregon.
Excellent choice.
Yep, I think so too. The Rogue Brewery is a relatively small brewery, area-wise. Visited that brewery several years ago, and compared to other breweries like the Deschutes Brewery further north and in Central Oregon, Deschutes Brewery is huge compared to the Rogue Brewery in Newport. One of the things, besides the size, the thing that really stood out for the Rogue Brewery when we were visiting is as we were approaching, and it's almost like on a spit of land, facing the ocean, is one of the things that really distinguished it from any other brewery that I've ever visited is the aroma. Well, I shouldn't say aroma, I should say odor. All the other breweries have a exhaust scrubbing type of system that prevents that odor from going out into the atmosphere. And the Newport Brewery, at least at that time, did not have that. And you could smell it before you could see it. Ugh. But they produce good beer. Trudy.
I know, I'm always talking. When you were mentioning about the GAT on Facebook, can anybody join in to listen, to read comments and stuff?
Yep.
Perfect.
They do ask a question as to what club of which you're a member, and I think they also ask what district. It's been a while since I've had to sign in.
Mhm.
But yeah, provide those two things and you're good.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Sure. And the same is true with the Global Lions Forum as well. We ask what member you're a club. We ask your, and we ask 3 questions. No, I'm thinking of the of another group. So yeah, 2 questions. Are you a member of what club? And 3 things. Yes, member of what club? And are you aligned? Are you a member? What club are you a member of? And do you agree to our policies? And they always do that for every group that you join.
Great, because I'm a going out president, but I like to keep learning to try to help my club.
You bet.
So, thank you.
Sure. Other questions? Brian, what did I miss in that?
Well, and I don't think you missed anything for the overview, and I'm kind of curious for a question really for Trudy and Barbara. What brought you here tonight? Was there a specific aspect of the GAT that you were interested in? And like Trudy, you said you're coming out of a president's role. There are lots of ways. The best way to learning, as I found, is just jumping in and actually taking a shot at things. So this last year was my first year, also my post-president tour, if you will, of trying something new. And I was just curious for both of you if there was a specific area or aspect, because even without getting terribly involved, it is a team approach. We're always looking for the voices from the field to help us out at that district level. So just kind of a curiosity, what brought you here tonight, other than to find out what the best beer is on the coast of Oregon.
Well, for me, I'm just looking to get ideas to keep my club viable, to learn how to be a better team player, better leader.
Mhm.
I just feel sometimes, I'm looking for any and all ideas to get people fired up.
Right.
Our got super cool people in our club, but they're all, I'm one of the younger ones and I'm 71. So
You're not alone. That's what is a
yes.
subject we are constantly faced with, is that aging out syndrome. And it's nothing new. I mean, all clubs are going to age out in some degree. It's just a matter of that new blood that you're bringing in. And like you said, it's not an easy process, because connecting with, especially these days, trying to stay current with the culture. Oh my gosh, it's hard enough just to remember how to use my iPhone.
Yeah, we've got like four or five people that are 50 and under, and they work, so they can't always go to the meetings and stuff, but two of them are really have really stepped up and are really doing a lot. But it's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
I get disillusioned sometimes, because trying to fire them up and get more people involved in what we're doing in our club, because it always seems to be like the same 11, 12 people that are doing everything.
Yeah. It's again, another common story that we hear as we visit clubs. So it's just out of curiosity, what kind of partnerships does your community have that you've explored? Have you made some good connections with other?
So far, I've talked with a Rotary Club and the president. And in fact, I want to get back in touch with him again, because I was trying to, with Rotary and Kiwanis in Federal Way, see if somehow that we could all get together and maybe support each other with different, things that we're doing, like our big car show. We can always use volunteers for that. And I was told that the incoming president for Rotary is a big car show or a big car guru fan. Kiwanis has things that they do. So, I'm trying to meet with these people and see if we can all get together and start working, helping each other with each other's projects. And maybe we can, all of us, maybe get some more members that way or something, or get people excited because we're three clubs getting together.
Yeah. Spot on.
Helping each other and doing stuff in the community.
Yeah, you're definitely on the right track, because that is exactly what will happen once you start making those connections, because there are folks out there who may find that, they're not in the right organization, and the Lions come along and maybe that speaks to them better than Kiwanis or Rotary. Not that we're trying to steal memberships. We're really just trying to, be a force multiplier in the community by just not competing with one another and trying to do all that stuff. So yeah, I think you're on the right path.
Wait,
And what I learned from
so
speaking with
you, I think we are ready to steal them and poach those fellow service clubs. Get some good members in, yeah.
And some of them will actually be happy to be in both. We have Rotarian and in our and it's very powerful. And we have fun little competitions we do between the clubs, and it's usually on food items, for the local food outlets. But yeah, it's been very positive, and I was kind of curious how others are having success in that same regard. All right, Trudy, your aspect, what kind of things you're looking at here?
Just a sec, Brian. I have to write out your idea of a food drive amongst all groups.
Yeah,
okay.
make it a competition. We put out the challenge, and so our Chamber of Commerce is the reception area, and all the clubs just donate. And we have a cutoff date, and we count everything up if we can't weigh it, and so we kind of have this little, very healthy competition where whatever food organization's the recipient is getting a tremendous boost, and so it's been very positive.
Okay. Yeah, in our case, we're very fortunate since I became president. We lost one person due to personalities.
Mhm.
But since last September, we've actually gained 6. And we have one more who happens to be on holidays right now. And when she comes back, she's going to be inducted as well. So, and the people that have joined, those 6 are so awesome.
Mm.
It's how can I help? How can I help type thing. So our club is very blessed that way.
Fine. Yeah,
And
well,
That's fantastic.
keep them
yeah,
busy. They'll bring on probably 6 more just by getting out there and showing how enthusiastic they are. So yeah, that's
well,
super.
we actually do have a couple of people, because what our club does is there are certain organizations that let's say a group that, well, a company that tries to help people with finances so they can get their hearing aids or their glasses or whatever like that. And so we technically partner with them. And so we will pay a portion of the glasses, which helps them help these people. And because of that, we actually have we just went and did a photo op, and we're handing out the big checks to some of these groups. Well, we've got 2 people just from that photo op that said, and they're from those other groups that have
Mhm.
said, when's the next meeting? I want to come. I'm thinking about joining.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an amazing recipe. Just getting out there and showing, number one, how much fun we have and what the impact our service is. And people, like, they want to be part of something good. Like Al said, it's fun to share good news and a good organization. And if you have fun on top of it, even better, right? People love to, usually, some people who are, downers, I guess, but I haven't run across many of those. So having
Mhm.
fun is always a good sales.
And I found that we've been being more diligent about getting our word out with Facebook, because we are tired. We're the only club in our little 60,000 person community. And we are really tired of people going, who, what?
Yeah.
So we're really working hard with the newspapers. I actually have to do an op thing for a newspaper. And we're going, okay, let's get it out here, 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 here. Facebook,
Mhm.
anything we do, I'm one of the people. And but we have a couple of us on the admin side of Facebook, and we are forever putting stuff out there.
It's
And
great.
that's how I think we got 6 new members.
Yeah. It probably is. I mean, that's, like I said, you're doing exactly the right thing, getting out there. And in fact, you might even try. I don't know if you're going to be able to come to our convention, but we're going to have folks there teaching people how to, go live on Facebook when you're in the middle of a service, and go live just for a minute or so, and just tell the story and let people know what's going on in that moment. And it's surprising how many people are just looking for those live things happening, right? They're not as interested in the static stuff, but yeah, we've learned so much by just experimenting with what you can do, and it's neat.
Yeah. We actually have one person. She is really awesome at this. She doesn't do the live videos or something, but as soon as something is happening, she is putting the tweets out there. She's putting the Facebook's photos out there. She's telling you what's happening, where we are,
Yeah.
what time we're there till. Oh yeah, she is. Yes, Michelle from Vernon Lyons is totally awesome on this.
Oh, Michelle. Okay, we'll have to keep Michelle from Vernon. All right.
Yeah.
Keep an eye out, because we're trying to get those people out there to infect all the other clubs with their great social media enthusiasm, because it's amazing what you can like it or not like it, but it has a tremendous power over getting people involved. So
Yep.
good
Yep.
for you. Wow. Well, anyway, thanks for kind of plugging in a few things. I'm always curious to hear the stories from the different clubs and kind of what's working for you guys. And it sounds like you've got a lot of positive things going on.
Yeah.
Good. Good.
Barbara, good luck with the working with the Rotaries and stuff like that. Sounds
Yeah,
like
I'm
your thing.
looking forward to it.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
And when you're doing that, please refrain from the Rotary jokes. It doesn't work with them.
I don't know any Rotary jokes, so I guess I'm okay there.
Just tell a lawyer joke with the word Rotary in there, and you'll do
There you
fine.
go. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
A good session tonight. Thanks, Al.
Good. Well, it's been a great discussion. I do appreciate, again, your time. And I'm getting ready to publish the next schedule. So watch for the change on the MD19 website.
Thank
All right.
you.
So
Yeah.
much.
Good night, everybody.
Good
Good night,
night.
all.
Have a great one.